Hey everyone, how are you? Let me check and see if we've got... Oh, Marlene, hey, how are you? So good to see you. I was thinking about you yesterday and I came that close to giving you a phone call. So good to see you. Hey Jennifer, how are you? So happy to have y'all here. Do y'all see the title of today's live? It's all about that box. So, you know, it's coming the time where it's Christmas. I don't know if any of y'all have been through the frustrations of sitting down and you've made a nice little gift. You want to put it in a pretty box, but you struggle with how to size it. Well, that's what today's video is going to be about. I'm going to do my level best to teach you how you can use your measurements and make your custom box any size you need it. Now I'm going to show you just some of the boxes that I've been, well, I just dropped them all on the floor, but I'm going to show you some boxes that I made. I'm going to start off showing you this one. And this is a box that, and I haven't decorated it, so it's just a basic white cardstock. This one I didn't even make it out of the good stuff. This was like a prototype, so it's flimsy cardstock, but I'm going to show you. Inside, I have one of my memo pads that I'm making for my craft fair. So as you can see, it fits in there perfectly. Now, I struggle with math. I mean, math has never been, I'm pretty good with basic math, but I am not a mathematician by no means. So I kind of struggled yesterday with, I won't say I struggled with making the boxes. I struggled with coming up with a way to be able to teach you how to do it. And I wanted it to be a simple process, but before we get into all of this, let me do Prize Patrol, because I can't very well send y'all a box. All I can do is give you the PDF. And I do have a PDF that I'm going to have for everyone, and it's going to be in a landscape layout this time. And the reason for that is I have a worksheet where I'm going to teach you how to use this worksheet to come up with your box size every time. And I'm also going to put this on my blog as a separate PDF and call it the box worksheets. And there's two of them because there's different measurements if you have a rectangle box over a square box. So a square box. Hey Connie and Victoria, welcome in. Today we're going to talk about all about boxes. So we're going to learn how to make a box whatever size we need it. But before we get too far into it, I know everybody's always interested in Prize Patrol. I can't give y'all a box this week, so I'm going to give just one prize away this week. And it's going to be something that I think everybody can use for Christmas. It is a pack of the brand new garden green and real red ribbon, and a pack of the red rhinestones. I think everybody can use these for Christmas. So I only have one set of these, so I'm going to send this out to our grand prize winner today. So unfortunately, it's just going to be one winner today, but there's a lot of weeks where I have 4 or 5 winners, so it's going to have to be that way. And Marlene, thank you so much for your prayers. I do feel better. I still have I think it's like a canker sore, and it's like in the soft palate of the roof of my mouth, but it's kind of in the back toward my throat. But it is getting better. Salt water and mouthwash with peroxide in it. So I am just, hey Tina, glad you're here. So I wanted to just kind of chit chat with everybody for a few minutes and let all of you kind of filter in. We have 8 people here according to mine. And yeah, calculating, Marlene. I'm telling you what, yesterday I was about ready to pull my hair out. And like I said, it was only because I was trying to get something that y'all could understand. Now I'm going to flip you down to my craft table. And y'all seem to like me in it, so I'm going to leave me over here in the corner. I shouldn't be in y'all's way. Today, first of all, let me show you. Let me show you this. Like I said, there's one of my boxes with my little memo pad in it. And this was one I did this morning because I just wanted to make sure that everything was working. I made a box for my glue dots. I just wanted to pick up items on my desk and make a box for them. So there's a box for that. My folio. Remember the folio that I made? I made a box for it. So, as you can see, all these boxes are different, and they look totally different once you decorate them. Now this one I made with very flimsy paper. This wasn't even Stampin' Up. I just pulled a piece of really flimsy cardstock. I just wanted to see. I wanted to see what it looked like to have a lid that was up a little bit so you could see the bottom of the box as well as the lid. I think that's very attractive, and I could reinforce this box. I could put some cardstock or heavy cardstock in the bottom and on the sides and definitely reinforce this box. Hey Alicia and Brenda, welcome in. Victoria, to answer your question, embossing folders, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll look in my file, and if I have a video that shows, I know I did some different things with embossing folders, and yes, there's a lot you can do. You can ink your embossing folders inside and then emboss, and it puts the impression in. You can emboss and then take an ink pad and rub it very gently over it and pick up different colors. You can use your blending brushes and do that. There's a lot of different things, and I can actually do another video, but I'll look in my library of videos and see if I can find something. So that's a very good question. What I want to show you today, let's see, what did I do with my, okay. Make sure I got all my supplies up here. I'm going to set all these boxes off of my desk for just a moment so I can have room to do what we need to do. All right, the main things that you're going to need in order to do a box is you're going to need a ruler, a pencil, a trimmer, and a scoreboard. Now this trimmer has a scoring mechanism built into it. But for the sake of the video, I normally use this as my my score. But I know a lot of you don't have this. You have a regular trimmer and you have a scoreboard. So for the sake of keeping everything uniform today and showing you how to do it, we're going to use a trimmer to cut our paper. We're going to use a scoreboard to score it. I want to try to keep everything as simple as I possibly can. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some calculating first. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to set my trimmer and my scoreboard over out of my way. And I'm going to bring in that worksheet because this worksheet is going to be crucial to how you're going to build your box. And in this worksheet, like I said, there's 2 pages of it. One is for a rectangular box and top. The other one is for a square box and top. The reason you have 2 measurements on your rectangle box is because you've got length and width. You've got, let me show you. Sometimes, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, like this one, for example, is a prime example of a rectangle. That's where we would use this worksheet. And we would need to know, well, I'll tell you what, let's play with it. We would need to know the width of our project. We would need to know the width, and we would need to know the length. So on here, I put the sides and the sides. The sides is going to be the depth this way. So you could write depth over that. But the sides are going to be measured like this. This is like 1/4 of an inch. I wanted my box to be deeper than that because I wanted it to fit down in my box and not just be sitting at the top, because if you got anything sitting up, I know sometimes we decorate with flowers and different types of dimensionals that sit up a little bit. So if you do that, you want your box to be deep enough to accommodate. So what I did, I decided how deep I wanted my box, and I made my box 3/4 of an inch. There's my 3/4 of an inch. So that's where I put my sides. So I'm just going to show you how I made this box. So I know I want my sides to be 3/4 of an inch. So you need to decide where you want your box to be. 3/4 on each side. And the reason I'm doing it on both sides is because you got 3/4 here and 3/4 on this side. Okay. Then you're going to do, hey Margie, welcome in. And then here on the length, you're also going to need your side pieces, which is still going to be 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to put 3/4 there and 3/4 here. All right, now this is where it's going to come in, your length and your width. So the width of this little pad is 3.5 inches. And I'm going to add 1/4. See, it says plus 1/4. My item's width, there's the width, item's width plus 1/4 would make it 3 3/4. So we're going to put 3 3/4 here. And then the length is going to be 8 1/8. 8 1/8. So 8 1/8 plus 1/4. Let me do the math. So 8 1/8. I'll tell you what, let's just make it easy. If you don't want to work in eighths, just go up to 1/4. So we're going to do 8 1/4. It's not going to matter. The box, it's going to fit in there anyway. So now what we got to do is we got to equal all these out to see what size paper we need for our bottom part of our box. Now, if you're not good with fractions, I am going to show you an app on my phone, and I got Jennifer on my phone, sorry, because she's in my ear, and y'all all know that. On my phone, I have tools, and in my tools, I have a fraction calculator plus. If you have a smartphone, you can go, or a tablet, you can go into the App Store, and you can download this calculator. And I want to show you how well this calculator works. Over here is your fractions. See, you got the line right there. The numbers over here are your whole numbers. So we're going to add this up, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to add it. So 3/4, there's my 3/4. Let me zoom y'all in a little bit so you can see actually see my calculator. Is that better? Oh, it's saying I got an error on my, oh, there we go. Got my chat back. All right. So I've got my 3/4 in, and now I need to add 3 3/4. So I'm gonna go over here and get a whole number. Whoops, I did wrong. Let's clear it. 3/4 plus 3 3/4 plus 3/4 equals 5 1/4. So I know that my paper needs to be 5 1/4. Now, don't let this math throw you. This worksheet's going to make it so easy because all you have to do is measure your item and add these numbers together, and then you're going to get the size paper right here that you need to cut to do your box. So let's go ahead and add this one up. This is 3/4 plus 8 1/4, so 8 1/4 plus 3/4 equals 9 3/4. So what is this telling me? This is telling me that I need my paper to be 5 1/4 by 9 3/4. This is for my bottom. The name of the app is Fraction Calculator Plus. Let me go back out and make sure. Fraction Calculator Plus. And I'm going to hold my phone up. This is what the little icon looks like right there. Fraction Calculator Plus. And it is the, if you struggle with fractions, adding, subtracting, multiplying, this is the best app that I have ever put on my phone. So I hope that answered your question, Brenda. I'll try to link that. I don't know if I can link it because it's on the App Store, and I'm sure if you have a iOS, an Apple phone, you can probably go into the store and get it there as well. But anyway, that's telling me that the bottom of my box needs to be 5 1/4 by 9 3/4. Now I put a note here that your score marks are always going to be what the sides of your box is. So what is that telling me? That means we're going to score all the way around at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to cut a piece of paper to this size. We'll come back. We're also going to trim a little teeny bit off of this bottom so that our top will be a tiny bit bigger and it will fit over top of it. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. I still have a little bit of a cough. Y'all excuse me, let me get a sip. I'm still battling with this quite a bit, but y'all bear with me. I also wanted to tell you, if you want to make a sturdy box and maybe you don't have cardstock, this is something that you can use. If you buy paper from Stampin' Up, the back part of the papers usually come on one of these sheets of white. And I know it's blurring the camera, but this is what it looks like on the back. Well, you could put this inside your box, or you could put this on the top of your box, and you're going to be covering the top of it with some Designer Series paper. Nobody's going to see that. But this is a good way to use what you normally would throw away, and it's a really, I mean, do you hear that? It's a really good, strong, it's stronger than a heavyweight cardstock. So remember that you can always make your boxes out of something like that and recycle. For today's video, hey Kathy, welcome in. Good to see you. I know, Kathy, I do too. I struggle with the fractions and I struggle with how to measure to make the boxes. But if you can measure in quarter increments, you can do this. And with this worksheet that I'm going to give everyone, it is going to be so easy. So I've got my marks here. I mean, I got my measurements here, and I know I need to cut this to 9 3/4. So I know I can get this out of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I am going to bring my trimmer up. And I am going to cut my 9 3/4 inch first. So I'm going to put that 11-inch side in. Let's move these other boxes out of our way so I got room enough to stretch out over here. I'll lay my ruler up there because I'll be needing that again, I'm sure. And I want to keep this worksheet here because I want y'all to see what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm going to put this in at the top of my trimmer. Let me zoom y'all back out now so you can see what I'm doing. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at 9 3/4. So I'm coming all the way over to 9 3/4 and I'm going to slice. Then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. And I'm going to cut it. So now, like I said, on the bottom only, you need to take a smidgen off of the side and the bottom, or the top and the side. It doesn't matter. You're going to take like about a 1/16 of an inch. Just barely put it over top of the track. Trim that off before you score, and see what I mean? It's just a smidgen. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny little piece. Turn it and do the same thing on the other. This is going to ensure that your lid's going to be a little bit bigger so that it will go over top of your box really easy. So once you get that done, we're going to bring our scoreboard up and we're going to score this. And scoring this is going to be so simple because we are, let me move the scrap paper out of my way. We're just going to put this into our scoreboard And remember, I told you, your scores are always going to be whatever your sides are. So they are 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. So we're going to score at 3/4 all the way around. So I'm going to come in here at 3/4 and I'm going to score, turn it, 3/4 and score, turn it, 3/4 and score. One more time, 3/4 and score. Now that was easy, right? Easy peasy. So we're going to put this out of our way. And I'm just going to go ahead and varnish all of my score lines really good. Get a good fold on those. And I'm using the heavy cardstock, the thick. And you always, if you want to use something heavy for your boxes, if you have it. So once I get everything scored, then I'm going to take my paper snips. And I'm going to cut, you see where the score line is right here? I'm going to cut on this side of my score line. So I'm actually cutting that score line away. Just like that, right up to that next score line. You don't want to go over it. Then I'm going to angle cut this little wedge out. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that here and here and here and here. You could have done it on this side, here and here and here and here. It doesn't matter. The box is going to go together whichever way you do it. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cut on that side of that score line. And then I'm going to wedge that out. And that one fell out. And if you want to, you can wedge just a tiny bit off of these edges right here. Just to kind of give that a nice little wedge so nothing is sticking up. Just like that. Then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cut up. And then wedge in. Pull that out. And do the same thing here. And wedge that out. Hey Susan, welcome in. We are making boxes and I have a worksheet so that anything that you have, you can measure it and make a box to fit it. Now I am working on the measurements and I haven't gotten that yet for a flip box. You know, the box, this is one that I played with yesterday, but I want to see if I can do a flat one. And I ran out of time yesterday by the time I got this all done. But I'm maybe by next week, I won't do a box next week, but I'll do a video and show how to make one of these. This one right here would be great. It would fit like a little lotion or a little bottle of perfume or some little candies or whatever you'd want to put in that. But this is the time of the year that we need boxes. So I thought this would be a good time to teach everybody. And you know, we always need boxes. So what are we going to do now? We're going to fold these little tabs in like that. You can use glue, you can use your Stampin' Seal, you can use tear and tape, whatever. I'm just going to use some glue. That's if I can get my glue to flow. That's always the question, right? Let's just go in here and pump that out a little bit with my pen. And I think it's going to flow now. Yep, there we go. And when you're making your boxes, and any of y'all that have crafted for any length of time, y'all know this. I'm going to go ahead and put it over here too. The most important thing is to make sure when you bring these corners up that they are nice and squared. That's what makes your box look nice and neat. You want to make sure that you're getting those. That's why I like to use glue. That gives me a little bit of wiggle room, and this glue is really good. It's going to hold it. And if you got little clips, I have these little binder clips. If you use glue and you don't want to sit there and hold it, take a binder clip and just put on it like that. You know, I usually keep some of these. I use these on my ribbon to hold my ribbon on the spool so they don't all come unraveled. And just let it sit there like that. Then we can come down here and go ahead and put glue on these. And this one. And then we're going to bring this one up, making sure it's nice into the corner. And this up to the corner. We can take those clips off and let them sit down here for a minute. While that's sitting up, I'm going to go ahead and put my pen back in my glue. And let's test it now and see if our memo holder is going to fit in here. I cut my box too small. Now how in the world did I do that? We did measure this at 8, didn't I? Did I not allow that 1/4 inch? I mismeasured my, now see, this happens. I mismeasured my length of my memo pad. This memo pad is almost 8 3/4. I'm glad this happened. Be very careful when you're measuring because you will end up remaking your box. So I'm going to grab another piece of cardstock because you know what? Y'all know me well enough to know I don't let mistakes throw me. I keep going. Let me fix my mistake on my sheet. So we're gonna fix that. So this is actually 8. I'm gonna say 8 3/4. So it's almost 9. 8 and it's actually 8 and since I got the calculator, you know, I don't know. I'm going to keep it at quarters. We're going to call this, it's 1/8 of, not even quite 1/8 of an inch of being 8 3/4. So we're going to redo this. 8 3/4 plus 1/4 makes it 9. So we got to recalculate. Our width was right, our length was off. So now we need to recalculate this, and now I'm going to need a piece of paper that is 10 1/2 because 3/4 and 3/4 is 1 1/2. 1 1/2 and 9 is 10. 10 1/2. Yeah, 10 1/2. So let's redo this. 10 1/2. Now see, it had nothing to do with my calculation sheet. It had to do with me not measuring correctly. So I would say measure twice and double check your measurements because if you don't, you'll end up doing what I did. All right, are y'all ready to do this again? I am so sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. That was a major boo-boo on my part. All right, we're gonna redo this. So now we're gonna put this in and we're gonna measure it out to 10 1/2. I could just take a 1/2 inch off, but I like to measure my paper to the mark. So 10 1/2. And then turn it and cut it at 5 1/4. I always say don't get flustered, you know, just trug on, keep going. I could have sat here and done this probably 100 times off camera and would never have made that mistake, but I got on camera and what happens? I make boo-boos. All right. Oh, I need to cut a little bit off. I didn't do that. Remember, on the bottom of the box, you need to trim that little fraction off of the side and one of the ends. So there's my little shaving off. We get to do it again, so hopefully this is going to teach y'all even better by seeing me do this all over again. Square boxes aren't as complicated as rectangles because they're the same all the way around. It's always going to be, you know, 8 1/2 by 8 1/2. It's going to be 4 1/2 by 4 1/2 or whatever. But it's a little bit different with a rectangle box because you got to get that width and length. All right, let's try this again, y'all. We're going to put it back in the scoreboard. Hey, Diane, welcome in. Oh, I'm sorry you're late too, but I'm glad you made it. We are doing it's all about that box today. We're making boxes. And I made a big boo-boo. I saw that you got your purse. I was hoping if you got it put together and you love it, I hope. All right. 3/4. We're still doing the 3/4 of an inch. And turn it. And 3/4. And turn it. And 3/4. And turn it. And 3/4. You know, I used to get so flustered if I'd make a mistake like that in front on a live, but you know, as the longer I do this, the less it bothers me. I feel like, you know, I'm amongst friends, and we all make mistakes, and you know, hey, it is what it is, right? So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to redo it, and the same way y'all would do if y'all made a mistake in your crafting. You just keep on trugging on. I moved my black mat off of my desk because I thought if I work with black paper, I didn't want y'all not to be able to see what I was doing. So I went back to just my desktop. All right, so we're going to do our little cuts and wedges again. And so remember, we're going to cut the score line away. So we're going to cut to the right or the left of the score line. So to cut it away over here, we got to go to the left of it. Cut down to that first score mark, and then we're going to angle in and get that little wedge out. And we're going to cut a little wedge off of here too. And then we're going to cut to the right of the mark on this side. And then wedge it out. And we'll go ahead and cut this one too. We're going to go down and do the very same thing on the other end. Remember, like I said, if you cut here, you're going to cut here. If you cut here, if you cut here, you're going to cut here. So just remember, it's the opposite side. So if we had cut over here, we would turn it around to this side and cut this side. But since I'm cutting on this side, you do it from end to end. So, and it doesn't matter which way you do it, just make sure you do it on the same side, you know, both ways. So cut that away, and then wedge that out. And then did y'all like my title? It's all about that box. I was thinking about that Meghan Trainor's song. It's all about that bass. When I was doing this, and it was like just playing in my head, and I was like, okay, we're going to title this "It's All About That Box." So I'm going to cut that up like that. Now this one should work a little better than the other one. So let's try it and see. I'm going to push these tabs down so that I can get some glue on them. And trusty little glue bottle out. And like I said, make sure when you're putting these together that your corners are nice and straight. That makes for a really nice looking box. I'm going to go ahead and put that little clip there. Let's put some glue on this side. Bring it up, make sure it is to that edge. Everything is cornered up really well. What did I do with that other clip? Did I know I had two of them? Oh well, I got more. It's probably up under something, or I got paper clips up there and binder clips and all kinds of little clips. Alright, I'm just going to kind of push that in like that so that my box takes shape. And now I'm going to do the same thing down here. Take this little glue bottle, lay my ruler up here out of my way, and glue these. I'm going to corner these up really good, just like I keep telling you to do. Make sure your edges are nice and straight right there. And straight there. And now we're going to put the clips down here to hold these. Let those dry. And I'll do the same thing I did a while ago. I'll put my pen in my bottle, and we'll bring this over, and I think it's going to fit this time. What do you think? I sure hope so. That was embarrassing. Not really. Like I said, mistakes happen. It is what it is. And now we're going to take this, because this was our piece that we measured, and we are going to sit it in our box. Nice fit. Now we need to make our lid. All right, go back to your worksheet. And we need to decide on our sides, we want to decide, do we want our box to come all the way down to the bottom of this? If you do, it's going to be 3/4 for your sides here. I mean your sides. I don't want it to come down that far. I want it to come down maybe 1/2 inch. That will give me 1/4 of an inch of the bottom of my box showing. For two reasons. It makes it easier to pull the top off of it, and if you're using Designer Series paper, it makes the bottom of the box look pretty. So I'm going to put 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch for my sides. 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. Now these measurements are going to be the same. So we're going to need 9 inches for the length, for the length of our project, and we're going to need 3 3/4 for our width. So now we need to do the math again. So we're going to pull out our little calculator again, and I have it under tools because it's a very important tool for me. And we're just going to add these up. The top one is pretty easy because 1/2 and 1/2, well, I say it is, and then I look at it and I'm thinking, no, it's not. All right, let's do 1/2 plus 3 3/4. So 3 3/4 plus 1/2 equals 4 3/4. So 4 3/4. Now we're going to do the length. Clear it. We're going to do 1/2. Well, you know what? I don't even have to add that. 1/2 and 1/2 is 1, and 1 plus 9 is 10. So sometimes you don't need the calculator. It's easy. But when it's not, this thing is worth its weight in gold. So, oh goodness gracious. So we need to cut a piece of cardstock that is 4 3/4 by 10. And what are we going to score it at? We're going to score it at 1/2 inch all the way around, because our sides are 1/2 inch all the way around. So I'm going to use a piece of black. I'm going to make the top of it black, and this piece got bent, but that's okay. Let me get this out of my way. Set that up there. All right, so the first thing I want to do is get my trimmer again. I'm going to open my arm up, and I'm going to cut my long piece first. So we're going to take that to 10. And slice. And then we're going to turn it around and cut it at 4 3/4. 4 3/4 right there. Let me close this up and get it off of the edge of that. You always want to make sure your trimmer is sitting flat. Don't let anything be up under the edge of your paper. Like my scissors and my bone folder was up under the edge of my paper, and it was giving me a wonky measurement. So always make sure your trimmer is sitting flat. There's nothing impinging under the side of your paper, to always make sure you get a good cut. Little tidbit for today. All right, so now we don't have to trim off, because this is our lid. We don't have to do any trimming on that extra. All we got to do is bring up our scoreboard, and we're going to score it. And we're going to score it. I lost one of my feet off of my scoreboard again. My feet have been falling out. Good thing it wasn't my feet falling out, just the feet on my. See, one just fell out there. I'm gonna get some what is that extra heavy glue called, the E2000 or 4000. I'm gonna put those on where they're gonna stay. All right, I'm gonna come in with this, and we're just gonna score 1/2 inch all the way around. So I'm going to go in at 1/2, turn it, and do 1/2, and 1/2. Once you get the hang of this, you'll be making boxes for everything, because it's not hard once it clicks in your brain. And I had to get it to click. And that's, yesterday I got it to click, but then I was trying my best to figure out what is an easy way that I can show y'all how to get these measurements where it won't boggle your brain. And I'm so hoping that having a worksheet like this is going to help. So we're going to go ahead and fold and burnish all of our pieces first before we do our trimming. I'm going to use my other bone folder for the black, because sometimes the other bone folder leaves a shine on your black cardstock, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna... Hey Tina, how are you? Welcome in. So glad I got a crowd of people here. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up. I need those thumbs up and positive comments and shares and likes and all of that good stuff, so I can stay in the good graces of the YouTube people. What that does, it just helps them push my videos out there so more people see me. And the more people that see me, then the more people subscribe, and the more my channel grows, which is good for me. All right, we're going to do the same thing with this one that we did to the other one. Now, I know this is black and it might be hard for you to see, but I'm just cutting up on the outside of that score line up to that next score line. And then I'm going to wedge it out, just like we did before. I'm going to angle cut the side of it just a little bit. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Go up, angle out, pull that out, go ahead and angle this one, turn it over or turn it to the other end and do the same thing. Cut up, cut your angle, pull that little wedge out and angle that. Same thing here. And like that. I had to get my little shop vac in here. I had so many of these pieces on my floor all around my desk. I have one of my dog's beds is right up under my desk, and because I like to have them have something to lay in here if they so see fit. They don't. They lay usually on my feet or under my chair. You know how it is. Hey Phyllis, welcome in. So what I'm going to do now is the same thing. We're going to glue those little tabs. So I'm just going to fold those down like that. Get my trusty little glue. One thing you'll be able to see is the glue on the black. And I'm just going to glue that up, making sure that those edges are nice and flush. Like that. Let's do our little binder clip. Won't hurt. It just gives me an extra set of fingers to hold that while I'm gluing the other side. And then glue this one. Just making sure everything's nice and even. I'll do that other little clip right there. We're going to do the same thing down here. Push those tabs down. Put some glue on them. I think I'll go ahead and do this side too while I'm here. Kathy, since you have to leave for an appointment and you can't be here the entire time, we'll still go ahead and include you. If you win, check back with me. Now I don't know, I think I might have your address, I'm not sure. Just check back on the video and see if you were the winner, and if you were, then just email me your address just to be sure. But yes, you can be in the drawing. anybody that comes in and they have to leave for an appointment or something, you know, people that just pop in and see what you're doing and then leave, I don't want to include those. And I hope y'all understand that. But I understand we all have a life, we all have appointments, we have things we have to do. I had my last treatment on my veins Monday, and I'm all black and blue again. But I don't go back for 3 months. When I go back, I actually see the doctor this time, and he's going to let me know if everything's looking good, and then I'll be done. All right, here is our top, and let's see if we get a good fit. And look how nice that fits. Fits right over it, perfect. And you can see that little bit of the white box right there, and that's what I wanted. That's why I did that one 1/2 inch versus the bottom that was 3/4 of an inch. So again, anything, you know, if you wanted to do an ink pad, all you would have to do is, now this would be a rectangle because it's, you know, it's longer than it is wide. That's why you have to measure your length and width. I want to show y'all real quick how to do a square one. So I'm going to do, what can I get that's square? This isn't Stampin' Up, but we won't tell anybody, will we? This is a roll of sticky tape, and I use these on my folios, and I use them on my different projects that I need. Stampin' Up doesn't carry the wide tape like this, so I do order this. We're going to make a box for it. It's round, but a circle will fit in a square box, right? So how would we measure this? What I would do is I would take a piece of plain paper. We'll use the back of this sheet since I've already wrote on it. I would just set this down like this, or maybe up in this corner, something like that, and I'd measure across. I'm going to say, I'm going to call it 5. It's actually 4 5/8. But I'm going to call it 4 3/4 and give it the 5 for the, let me get that other worksheet out. This is for your square box. So if it's 4 let's see, where's my pencil? If it's 4 3/4 plus 1/4 is 5 inches. So we're going to go with 5 inches there. So we know the 5 inches is going to be the same down here too. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And then our sides, we're going to measure up like this. And it is right about 1 inch. So I want to bring it up about 1 1.25 inches. So I want my sides to be 1 1/4 for the bottom. 1 1/4. Then I need to decide down here what I want my sides of my other box. Do I want it to go all the way down? If I want it to go all the way down, it's going to be the same as this. I don't want it to go all the way down. I just want it to go about halfway. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that at 3/4. 3/4 won't take it. It'll be a little bit more, but we're going to do that at 3/4 and 3/4. So now all we have to do is add our numbers up again. Very easy. 5, 6, 7, 1/4 and 1/4 is 1/2, so that's going to be 7 1/2. I didn't need the calculator for that. How about those beans? Same thing here. This is 1 1/2. I mean 3/4 and 3/4 is 1 1/2, so that's going to be 6 1/2. So sometimes you don't need the calculator, but when you do, it is so good to have it. So what we're going to need now is for our top, for our bottom, we're going to need a piece of paper that is 7 1/2 by 7 1/2. Well, I messed up. 7 1/2 by 7 1/2. I was trying to write my 7 as a fraction. So that's how the reason you don't have to do the length and width on this is because the length and the width is the same. So 7 1/2 by 7 1/2. Let's go ahead and figure out down here we're going to need 6 1/2 by 6 1/2 for our top. 6 1/2 by 6 1/2. So I am going to grab a piece of, let's do something decorative. Y'all want to decorate this box for our Let's see if I have another piece of this already cut. This is the Celebrate Everything. This is a pack of paper. If you place a big order, you can get a pack of this for free. And I don't know if I've got 6.5. Yeah, maybe that's, I don't know. Let me look at this. I think this might be, oh yeah, I can get the top out of this. We're going to do the top out of that and the bottom out of black. How about that? I think that'd be cute. Or maybe even white. Oh, I love the smell of that paper. Smells so good. Alright, so I'm going to just grab another piece of black. Or do I want to do white? I think that black would look so pretty on white. We're going to do the bottom white. I hope y'all are getting this. Is this making sense to y'all? Are y'all understanding that how you can calculate by measuring your item and adding that 1/4 inch and decide how tall you want your box, or how long you want your top to go down over your box, and that's how you can get this. I hope this is all making sense, because that's always my desire whenever I'm doing a video like this, is I just want y'all to get it. Alright, so we're going to cut this piece of white, thick white cardstock down to 7.5 by 7.5. I love this because we're able to get these out of 8.5 by 11 inch papers. It is so hard to find 100 to 110 pound paper in thick cardstock. I mean, yeah, in 12 by 12 paper is what I was trying to say. All right. Oh, this is my bottom, so remember, you've got to cut that smidgen off. So remember your smidgens off of both sides. One side and then one of the other sides. Not 4 sides, just 2 sides of your paper. Just like that. Get those in the trash, and now we're ready to score. Again, look at your paper. We decided that we want our box to be 1 1/4 on the sides, so we're going to score it 1 1/4 all the way around. So bring my scoreboard back up. And we are going to score at, get that paper out of my way, 1 1/4. Turn it, 1 1/4. Oh, thank y'all so much. That is my desire. When I come on and do something, what I want to do is make sure that y'all are learning something, because I'm not here to entertain y'all, although I do love just hanging out with you. I want to teach you how to do things that will be helpful to you in your crafting, because that's, to me, that's what's fun. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're just going to score and burnish. We've already scored. Now we're folding and burnishing all of our score lines all the way around. Same process. This process is the same over and over. The only thing that's going to change is the size of your box, depending on what you're needing to put in your box. So what? Hey Diane Moore, how are you? It's Diana, I'm sorry. Oh great, I am so glad that you made our first live. You're going to have to go back and watch this, because this one, if you look at the title of this one, it's all about that box. We're making boxes, and I'll show all the boxes afterwards, and we'll go back over the worksheet. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to cut up, cutting that score line away, and then I'm going to cut in. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, just wedge out just a tiny bit. And then do the same over here. And then wedge out. And cut a tiny bit off of this side. And turn around. Remember what I told you, don't come and cut over here. Turn it around to the opposite side, so that the side that you just cut is facing away from you. And then cut up and then cut your wedge. And then wedge your other little side out just a hair. And do the same thing on this side. It's so repetitious, but I'm kind of glad it is because I really want y'all to get this. You know, we're paper crafters, so why shouldn't we be able to make our boxes for our gifts? How pretty would it be to give a gift that you've handmade, made the box for it, and the card that goes inside of it? I mean, just how special is that? All right, I'm going to put these down like this. I think this time I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. I've got a little bit bigger tab here to work with, so I'm going to use this is the Stampin' Seal Plus. And then I'm going to bring that up, and I'm going to make sure that this is nice and flush. My corners are nice and even right there. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Y'all probably can't see me put the adhesive on there, but... And then I'm going to bring that up, making sure I'm getting it nice and met right there. And this one I'm going to put it on before I fold it up. So I'm going to put some adhesive there, and here, and here. And then I'm going to bring one up. So let's do this one first. Meeting it right there where everything's lining up. And then we'll do the last one right here. And then we're going to test it and see if that roll of tape is going to fit in this box. Voila. Our tape fits. Yay! Now we're going to do our top. So we're going to put this little decorative paper for our top. Now this is paper and it's a little flimsier. If you wanted to reinforce this, you could very easily cut this just a little hair bigger and put a piece of cardstock on the inside. But I'm not. I'm just going to cut this to show you how you can make your top. Or if you wanted to, you could glue two pieces of paper together and it would make a sturdier top. So it's totally up to you how you want to do this. But for this one, we need it to be 6.5 by 6.5. So bring out the trusty little trimmer and bring out make sure nothing is over here impeding my paper. And I'm going to bring that to 6.5 and slice. Turn it, 6.5. And trim. Now we don't have to do any trimming on that because remember the top doesn't have to have any extra taken off. And I'm going to make a note on the worksheets that you need to cut a smidging. I think everybody that's watched this is going to know what a smidgen is now. And you only do the smidgen on the bottom of your box, not the top. Alright, I'm going to put this in, and we need to score this one at 3/4 because that's what our sides are. 3/4 and 3/4. So 3/4 all the way around. I'm going to use my bigger end on my scoring tool this time because I'm doing paper and I don't want to tear my paper. So 3/4, turn it, 3/4, turn it, 3/4, turn it, and 3/4. So we're all done with our trimmer and our scoreboard. So let's put this back down here. And again, we're going to do, oh, that's pretty too, isn't it? You know, there's no ugly side to these papers. They're all beautiful. But I love this one. I think it just screams Christmas. You got mistletoe and holly leaves and holly berries and Christmas candy. I mean, it is just gorgeous. Gingerbread men. Look at that. Isn't that pretty paper? And this pack of paper doesn't just have Christmas. It says celebrate everything. So there's a little bit of every occasion in that pack of paper. So if you place an order where you earn your Stampin' Rewards, I think with a $300 order, you can get this pack of paper for $18. You can use your Stampin' Rewards to get it. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to cut up to that score line, wedge it out. This is so repetitious, but It's a necessity. And it's a little harder to see your score lines on the pattern paper. And I usually just kind of feel for them. This is the Celebrate Everything Stampin' Up, and this is actually it's a hostess gift normally with like if you had a party and it was $300 or more. But if you place an order or have some friends to get some orders and place an order for that, you could actually get that paper. Using your Stampin' Rewards, it would be an $18 pack of paper, but it is a huge pack. I mean, look how much paper you get in there. I mean, you get like, I think it's like 6 sheets of each one. There's fall paper. There's like even New Year's Eve or 4th of July. There's birthday paper. I mean, it's Christmas paper. Just about every season you can think of, you've got paper in here for it. So I love Stampin' Rewards. If you spend a certain amount of money, $150 or over, you earn Stampin' Rewards. But a $300 order earns you you become a hostess with that much, and that's how you can earn that pack of paper. So you might not be able to order that much money, that much Stampin' Up stuff, or you might not even need that much Stampin' Up stuff. But if you've got some friends and maybe they want some items and you want some, just pull your stuff together and place an order with me and you can earn that paper. And it is gorgeous. When I saw it, I overlooked it in the catalog. So Diane, Diana, am I saying your name right? It is Diana. Diana Moore. If you're interested in Stampin' Up or a catalog, or even if you want to come in as a hobbyist, I would be more than glad to talk to you and hook you up. So, yes, this paper is 12 by 12. Alright, so now we've got all of our cuts and everything, so all we got left to do is to put the lid together. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do, I don't know, these are tiny. I'm going to do glue again. And I'm just not going to be as heavy-handed with my glue, sort of glue fast. And glue it. Okay, we'll call you Diana. Or maybe we'll just call you Lady Di. I've watched so much about the royals since the Queen passed. I think I've learned way too much about the royal family, so I've kind of backed off of it now for a little while. But you know what I found out? I found out that the royals are no different than us. They all have family issues and problems just like we do. There's no such thing as a perfect family. And whether you're in the spotlight or not, we all have our difficulties and we all have struggles in our life. It's life. It's what happens. All right, how am I doing for time? Okay, I'm pretty good. So we finish this, we'll do our drawing. So make sure, if you haven't already let Jennifer know that you want to be in the drawing, let her know now. And let's see if we have a lid for our box. And we do. How pretty is that? I mean, it's just tape in it, but it's a cute box. And you could take some Stampin' Up ribbon or the baker's twine and tie around this. It would be gorgeous. I mean, that is a cute little box, isn't it? And that worksheet, like I said, I'm going to put that over on my blog. It's going to be in the description for today's video. It will be attached to this PDF tutorial. Let me get everything like it will be on there. It will look like this, and it'll be a link where you can click on the link, and it will print out all of this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two pieces and make a separate PDF just for these. and put them out there. And I'll put it'll be click here for the worksheet for size in a box, and both of these will be included in it. And you can save that to your computer and be able to print this out anytime you need it. Anytime you need it. So if you have any questions about anything that I made today, here is our boxes. There is one. These I didn't make on camera, but there is our, my glue dots are in a box. I've just boxed up everything, y'all. And my little folio that I made the other week, that's all boxed up. And then I have this bigger box that this was just done with two 12 by 12 sheets of paper. And I mean, look how nice and big that, I have big hands, so that's a big box. So those are our boxes for today. I mean, we just got boxes up the yin yang. So make sure you go over and check out my blog so you can get all this. Give me about, give me until mid-afternoon to get this all up, because I'm definitely going to want to go and get some lunch as soon as this is over, get a bite to eat. I'm one of these people that don't usually eat breakfast, so I haven't ate today. So I'm definitely needing to go and grab a little bite of something. But I'll have that up for y'all. But I'm going to go ahead and put my lids back on all of my boxes. And I just decorated, you know, a couple of them to show you. If you want to, you can always decorate. Use some solid cardstock like I did here. Use some dies and do some punches. Put some tags on it. This is a great way to put your tag on your box when you make it. You don't have to worry about, oh, look at that. I got bottom on that. That was when I was playing. Thank goodness it's in pencil. I can erase it. But you can take this and put the name on it. You don't have to worry about that tag falling off because it's glued onto the box. So I've had so much fun showing y'all how to use that worksheet that I worked blood, sweat, and tears on yesterday. But it was so much fun. And now I've got all these little boxes made. And all of these little boxes, this one doesn't seem like it's wanting to fit as good as it should. And I think it's because my glue's coming loose right there on the corner. Yeah, the glue's coming loose. I'll put that back together. Just make sure when you make yours, you glue them together really, really good. That is our video for today. But we only have one door prize today, and it's going to be for this beautiful ribbon. This is current in our catalog. It is a real red and garden green, beautiful ribbon for Christmas. And the real red, the red rhinestone basic jewels. So this is going to be one prize package today. And Jennifer has everybody's name. Oh, you're so welcome, Tina. Thank you so much. Let me pull y'all back over so I can actually talk to y'all face to face. There we go. I've had so much fun with y'all today. I'm trying to look at the, you're feeling a little boxy, Tina Barker. I love it. I hope that this has been a worthwhile time, a worthwhile hour of your day. Oh, good, Diane. I'm glad you find me everywhere. I know, I think you just went into my, or you requested to be a member of the Kathy's Random Acts of Stampin' Facebook group. So welcome to my little crafty family. I love all of my people so much. I know, feeling a little boxy, that made me giggle too. I will definitely, like I said, I'm glad y'all understand about needing to go eat. So I am definitely going to go and grab a bite to eat. But Jennifer, if you've got the names ready and you're ready to draw the winner, I am ready for their name. All right, and the winner is Tina Barker. Yay, Tina. Tina Barker. You are the winner of our gems and ribbon. Congratulations. Oh, thank you, Margie. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I hope that this is something that you would try. I want to see some boxes, y'all. I want y'all to make boxes and put them out there on the Facebook group so we can see. I want boxes in all shapes and sizes and colors and dimensions and depth and everything else. Oh, you did fine, Diane. You did fine. Well, I am going to go ahead and let y'all go because everybody's wanting to go and eat, and or you got things to do. But I just want to thank you so much for being here, for being a part of my crafty family, for allowing me to come into your home for an hour. It means so much. I just love you guys so much, and I'm so thankful. I thank God every day for each and every one of you, all of my subscribers, all of my faithful followers. Y'all mean the world to me, and that's why I get so much joy out of giving away the little gifts like this that I'm able to give. And as I grow my business, I'll be able to give even more, and that's one of the main reasons I really want to grow my business. I want to be able to give so much more than what I have been, and offer really good incentives for purchasing from me. If you spend $50 and use my host code is right here, and it's also will be posted. Y'all can't see. It's right here, and it will also be posted on my blog. It's on my blog. So if you place an order of $50 or more with me and use that, you'll get a free gift from me. So, and I'm hoping as time goes on, I'll be able to offer better gifts, and you can choose from maybe 1 to 3 different things, but I haven't gotten that big yet. But when I do, I'll definitely be doing that. So God bless and keep you, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. So until I see y'all again next week, I'll be back, but it'll be recorded videos. Y'all have fun, keep crafting, and remember, it was all about that box. Love you guys. Bye-bye.